Hello guys, Todd from Great Escape Farms here. Today I'm making some elderberry syrup. So elderberry syrup, the way that I make it is elderberry juice, and I'm working on making the elderberry juice right now. It is raw honey. Actually, it doesn't matter whether it's raw. I have raw honey here. What makes raw is the fact that it hasn't been boiled before, and I'm going to end up boiling it here. So it doesn't so much matter that it's raw, but it is local honey, so I did support a local person here. And I'm also going to put some cinnamon sticks in, but I don't have the cinnamon sticks. So I'm going to have to run out and grab those while I'm waiting for the sauce and everything here to get ready. So real quick, I want to point out that the honey is starting to crystallize, and that's normal. That means that you have real honey here. So the way to make it a little more usable and stop it from crystallizing is just to put it in a jar of hot water, not boiling. So I did that. And I'll let it sit there. It'll take about 5 minutes or so, and then it should be right back to the normal honey consistency that we're all used to. As far as the elderberry, how I make elderberry juice is I just took the elderberries themselves. Previously, I had destemmed them and removed all the green berries, and so I have a separate video on that. You can see that. Rinse them off, and now they're in a pot. I put them in a pot, and I filled the pot even with water. So, and I'm starting to heat them up. I'll heat them up to a boil for 10 minutes, and I will mash them with a potato masher to get everything out. So I'm not going to end up using the actual berry parts themselves and the seeds. They will all be filtered out. I'm going to strain those out, and I'll show you a little bit later in the video on that. All I want for this particular recipe is the juice itself. So the first thing I have to do is make the juice. After the juice is made, then I'll mix in the honey and the cinnamon, and then I'll go through a normal canning process. And that's pretty much what we're gonna be doing here today. So for right now, I'm just gonna push this down and mash all these up. I'll probably spend 20-30 minutes doing this. Then I'll bring it up to a rolling boil, let it boil for 10 minutes, and then I will let it cool enough so that I can start working with it. And by working with it, I mean straining out all the berry skins and berry seeds themselves. Okay guys, so we're back here. We have the sauce here. Unfortunately, it's a little dark here. You can't see it too much, but I'll take it over to the sink in a minute and just show you what we have. Also the honey here, I want to show you that. Pull that out of the water, and everything is all good to go there, so no more crystallization. Let me turn this around over here. So what I have is a little tub in the sink and a colander there, a colander with a screen. Let me back this up a little. And what I'm going to do is take a soup ladle. I'm just going to move it right over and plug it in. Now you can see a little bit more what we have here. So, and what I'm going to do is kind of crush these, get the juice out, and that will have juice on the bottom, and then I'll toss the top part in the compost bin. Okay, so we are left with elderberry juice. What I did again was I put it in a strainer. I put the strainer in another pan, and I ladled it in, and I kind of squashed it through, and I had a third pan. I dumped it in, and I kept through that process until I had it all done. So, and because I was squashing it through, a couple seeds did make it through, so I went back and forth with the pans through the screen strainer. So I now have just shy of 2 quarts of elderberry juice here that has no seeds in it. It is good to go. So everything has been taken out of that, seeds, skins, and everything else. Recipe calls for 1 quart of elderberry, 2 cups of honey, and 2 cinnamon sticks. So because I have just shy of 2 quarts, I'm going to double everything else. So I'm going to put about 3, 1, 2, 3, there's 4. And because I didn't actually scrape out all of the honey on this was actually a little bit less than 4, which is what I need because I don't have a full 2 quarts. And then I'm just going to go ahead and toss in 4 full 4 full cinnamon sticks here. Just toss that in, and I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and I'm going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes. And while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and get the canning jars and everything else prepared and ready to go. Get the canning system up to a boil, and I will boil these, or I will can these in pint jars. Okay, let me show you my setup here. I did this one right here, just to make sure that I had all the parts and pieces right. I'm just about up to a boil on my water bath canner here. I have a spoon or a ladle back here, and what I'm doing is I am ladling out of here. I put a jar right here, and I use this contraption to pull the jars out because they're very hot. So I put it right here. I use a funnel, which is right here, to go in. I ladle in. I go about 1/2 inch from the top, headroom as they call it, and usually I have a device that measures off how much headroom you have, and it seems to be misplaced right now, so I'm guesstimating. I've done enough of these, I'm pretty good with it. So then I wipe off the rim with a paper towel, and then I come in the back and I have heated up, never let these boil, but I have the lids back here, and I pull the lid and the ring out. This is magnetic, and it allows me to get that up, and now I can't get it off. So I get that up, I put it on, and then this contraption right here is used to measure the exact tightness. And what I do is I line this arrow up with the white arrow there, and after that I use this guy to put it back in here, and I move on to the next one. Each one of these has water in it. So the water in here is meant to sanitize everything. The same with the lids back there. And everything is at just below boiling. And as a matter of fact, I just hit boiling on my water bath canner here. So I'm going to dial it back just a little bit so I don't lose all the water. So let me set up on the tripod. I'll go ahead and do one of these so you can watch. Okay, here we go. So use my contraption here. I'm going to pull one of these out. And I'm going to dump the water out. Now, a little bit later on, I'm going to take that excess water and dump it in the sink. But right now I need that amount of excess water so that I hit the right level. Okay, so my jar is right here. Pull this over, hopefully you can see it. That's hot. And yeah, you can see that. I'm going to put the ladle in, and last time it took about 4 ladles. 1, 2, 3. So I'm trying to guesstimate the 1/2 inch headroom here. That should be pretty close. Put the funnel down, put this over here. And I'm about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to wipe the rim. Clean spot, wipe it again. Grab my lid. Grab the ring. Okay. One other item I have is a mitten here because this sauce is very hot. And it is burning me if I'm not using this. So I go and I match up my arrows. That's good. Grab this. That one in, and then we go for the next one. So that's how we do this. Let me go ahead and finish these up, and I'll put these guys in, start them boiling again, and I will be back with you then. Okay, back real quick just to show you the mess here. So I got a little bit of elderberry stuff back there. I have 3 1/2 pints and 3 pint jars done up. I have a little bit of sauce left over here, and I'll just put that in a jar, and it will go in the refrigerator, and I'll use that right away. And then a little bit of cleanup mess here. So I put the paper towels down just so when I was pulling the hot jars out and laying them down, it wasn't on a cold counter, so it gave, I'm also afraid that putting hot glass on something cold will cause issues and possibly break it. So same thing when they come out. I'll put these down for, boil them for the amount of time that they need, and then I will lay them out on a paper towel or a towel over there and let them cool that way. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop these guys down. I just pick on each side these up and drop it down underneath, and then I put the lid on, and I should be boiling here in just a couple of minutes on these, and then go for a 15-minute water bath. One other thing I wanted to point out is I leave the empty jars in here. They're filled with water, and that way it prevents, with boil going, it prevents them from falling over or doing anything else. So I kind of hold them in place and upright, so they will stay in until the water bath is all over with. Okay, so they were in a water bath canner for 10 minutes. I might have said earlier 15 minutes, but this recipe is 10 minutes for the pint and 1/2 pints. And what we're looking for, I think you can see it. Let me see if I can get the light here. See how that one has a little divot in? These do not yet. These are still protruding up. So as they cool, we're looking for the divots to go in. And if the divots go in like that, then they are good. They are successfully canned. If they do not, that means that I didn't wipe the rims good enough, or there's some kind of leak, some kind of issue going on. And I had this one right here, it didn't even go in the canner. That's just my excess. So if it doesn't go in by tomorrow morning, then what I'm going to do is I will move it to the refrigerator at that point and just label it, and I'll use it in the refrigerator. So they will be good for a month or more in the refrigerator. They will be good for a year or more if successfully canned. Okay, this is the final step right here. Is take a Sharpie and go ahead and write the name of what you have and the date. You can also put a label on the front, but I'll just put one on top just to have it up there. The actual lids itself, they get tossed away after this gets opened and used up. The rings and the jars itself get cleaned and reused. So as of right now, I have 5 of the 6 that have sealed up good. You can see this one is still bulging out a little bit. All the others, you can see a little divot in here. So hopefully that one will go down. If not, I'll go ahead and use that one first, and the other ones can wait. Actually, I'm going to give a couple of these away, and the other ones will be used for the remainder of this year. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching our video. Please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, and also check out our blog at greatescapefarms.com. Thank you very much, and have a great day.